Hey, this Realm of the Mist podcast is brought to you proudly by the Nurses Guild. Hey, what's up, guys? Don Smith and Chris Stolle back for another one. You guys ready for another fun, exciting episode of the Daily Show for Realm of the Mist? I hope you are, because here we go.
Feels like we just did this.
I know. It feels like, and I'm going to do something we didn't do on the one we did beforehand, sponsored by the Nurses Guild. Now I have to make sure the commercial's in it.
Yeah.
No, we were having a conversation on the last recording, and I had about football, and previously it started off with the conversation about silly names and shit like that, and we've got to address it. I know, even as a comedian, this has got to be comedy gold for you right now, and that's the Washington Redskins.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The Washington
team.
Football team, formerly known as the Redskins. Yeah. That's
like, I mean, there's got to be a way we can have a half-hour conversation about this team.
Well, like, there's got to be a way. Well, I mean, didn't that another one? Have they ever won a Super Bowl?
Years ago.
Okay. When they had a name.
Yeah. They had a name.
Yeah. When I first heard that they were just going to go by the Washington football team, I thought, that's great. That's just wonderful. We should do that with more things. We should, Cincinnati doesn't need to be the Reds. It's Cincinnati because Redskins, Reds. I mean, it's kind of close.
Well,
Cincinnati can just be the baseball team.
I thought about that, like, especially Ohio baseball teams. They're all Native American names. You got the Indians, you got the Reds.
Yeah.
But I was thinking even hockey, like the Chicago Blackhawks and, the Atlanta Braves. And, like, there's a lot of Native American. Why was Washington the one that was targeted, number one?
Yeah,
and two?
And not the Kansas City Chiefs.
Right. And then number two, this is where I figured it was comedy.
But
like the best you can come up with.
They have been after the Cleveland Indians for a while.
Yeah.
I don't think they're allowed to do the little tomahawk chop anymore.
Well, that's a point of contention. Let's talk about that before we go back to the Washington team. Who started the chop? Was it Cleveland or was it Atlanta? Because both were famous for it.
Oh, I have no idea who started that, because I do not watch baseball's boring as hell to me. I'm sorry.
It's fun when you go to them.
Well, yeah, because you can drink and yell things.
You could do that at home.
Yeah, but then you're kind of crazy. If you do that in public, it's so much more fun, because there's the chance of getting arrested, I guess. But
no, it's more fun. I think it's more fun to do it at home, especially when you have your friends over. It's like, God damn it, Chris, will you put your fucking pants on and get out of that goddamn beanbag chair?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they can't hear you.
The beanbag chair is pants in my house.
But like what prompted the second episode, I had to talk to you about, especially from a comedian standpoint. Like, really, the best name you can come up with for this team was the Washington football team. Like,
I think they're being a little facetious. I think that's being smart asses is what they're doing, because they've been on them for years to change that name, and I think that's probably that has to be the only reason you would pick that name.
It's got to be, because like, there's so many better names, like, off the top of my head, like the Washington Senators. There's a good name.
That's taken by the hockey team, though, isn't it?
Probably, but I think
that's their hockey team there. So,
well, there's a Cardinals baseball team and a Cardinals football team. So
that's true. That's true.
As long as it's not in the same sport, I guess it's fine. But you can call them the lobbyists. The team is in Washington D.C. You can't tell me.
Well, yeah, the thing with the Washington lobbyists, you would know they're going to pay off the refs.
Yeah,
I mean,
that could have been the start of their dynasty right there.
Exactly. They're finally they're going to win a Super Bowl this year because they're paying some people off. It's the Washington lobbyists.
Hey, they can even create their own fucking play, in the playbook. Philly did it when we won the World Series. We got the Philly. You know what I mean? The infamous screw job fucking play action where Nick Foles caught the fucking touchdown pass. They could do one and they can call it like down the aisle or Bill vetoed. Yeah, there you go. The Washington vetoes.
They'll never get in. They'll never win. The filibusters. There you go. The Washington filibusters. Shit, delay a game. Here we go.
Yeah, right. There's better names than the Washington football team. And what makes it even worse is you took off any logo. The fucking uniforms are boring as shit. You got red and gold.
They look like a college team.
They don't even look like a college team.
Not even talking about their uniforms.
They don't even look like a college team. They look like a high school team. I think my high school played them when I was in school. And won.
Yeah, there are so many high school mascots. It's like a bulldog. Why? Because I was the Bulldogs.
Okay.
Where I went to school. Yeah, why not? Why? I mean, even the Bulldogs there should be a football team of the Bulldogs. That sounds a little tougher than football team.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is at least you had a team that was original. My high school, we were the Vikings.
Yeah.
In Minnesota. Yeah. Like how when I was in Little League, I played for the fucking Raiders.
Yeah,
as a kid, And they didn't even bother fucking. They stole the logo. But
they had the same logo too.
Like our uniform was powder blue, but the hat logo and all that was literally the LA Raiders from football.
They're Las Vegas now. But
back then they were the LA.
When did that happen? Is this new this year? Because I haven't been keeping up because it's the Raiders, so who cares? But I haven't really. They were playing yesterday, and I was like, "What? They're in Vegas now? When the hell did this happen?"
The last time I paid attention to a team when they switched, especially like you said with the Raiders, like first off, who gives a shit about the Raiders? But I mean, they were L.A., Oakland, L.A., Oakland, L.A., Oakland.
Right.
Like what the fuck? Like nobody knew what to do with this team. The last time I paid attention to the Raiders, they had a quarterback named Gannon, and that was the only reason I paid attention because I'm a fan of Legend of Zelda.
Right.
But I mean, the last time I was surprised by a Las Vegas team was the goddamn Golden Knights in hockey because the year they came out, they won the Stanley Cup, and I'm like, who the fuck are these guys?
Their first year they came out and won?
I think it was the first year. I think their inaugural year they won the Stanley Cup, and I'm just like,
that seems a little shady. Like they stacked that team or something. Is that they did?
Sports books got involved.
Yeah, there you go.
Some families, shall we say?
Yep, sounds like they were playing the Washington lobbyists.
There it is. Yeah, we'll make you an offer you can't refuse. But I mean,
why isn't there a team like the New York Dons? New York City Dons.
Holy shit, that would be everybody would be afraid to get in front of their offense.
I'm not playing the New York Mafioso. That's or even the Hitmen. That would be a good.
That was XFL.
What's that?
That was actually the XFL. The first year of the XFL, New York, the New York, New Jersey team was actually called the Hitmen.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I think it was the New York, New Jersey. I know one of the teams was called the Hitmen, and they're named after the wrestler Bret the Hitman Hart. Not anything too nefarious, but I mean, still.
Yeah, the most important question though is the LFL still playing?
LFL?
Have you never watched an LFL game? This is the Lingerie Football League.
Oh my God, no! I've heard about it, but I've never watched it.
Look it up, man. Because here's the thing: It's women playing football in lingerie. They have some padding on, they have shoulder pads, but they are nailing each other. They came to play,
Aren't they in high
which is what
heels
makes
too?
it cool. But what's that?
Aren't they in high heels too?
I don't think they're in high heels, but they're not in high heels, but they actually are. They're very scantily clad. And the first time I watched it, I was kind of thinking, oh, this might be funny. But then I saw them start hitting each other. It's like, holy shit, they ain't messing around, man. I wouldn't want to take a hit from one of these.
Don't lie, you damn
I
well.
would. I totally would. I'd be in the bottom of a pile up in a second.
Absolutely.
Like, oh, I got the ball. As low as I could. Here it is.
See, I've heard of it, but I never actually watched it. I always thought it was just kind of like a Facebook meme. I never thought it was something that was legitimately real.
It is a real thing, yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if it still is, but they have. If you looked it up on YouTube, you can find some of their matches on there from a couple years ago. Like I said, I'm not sure if they're still doing it, because I would imagine there were quite a few injuries, because they're not wearing pads like the guys wear pads. I mean,
they just got shoulder pads on.
Yeah, they got shoulder pads and a little, little stuff here and there. But I mean, they ain't screwing around, man. Jesus. I was seriously impressed while I was watching it, and not just by them, but by the way they played football. It's like, man, they could beat the Bengals, or at least Cleveland.
All I'm thinking right now is Don's the type of guy, he rents a porno and he sits down to watch girls and guys fucking, and then all of a sudden gets wrapped up in the storyline.
You gotta have the storyline, man.
But is the plumber ever gonna fix the pipe?
Right, exactly. It worries me, especially as a maintenance man, because I want to know, if it ever happens to me, I want to know whether or not I still have to fix the toilet. How does this end?
I want to know, as a maintenance guy and as a subcontractor, I want to know if I get to charge for the whole time I was there, by the hour.
Right. Because they might think they're taking it out in trade, but that's never part of the agreement. We have a contract. You're gonna you still got to pay for this repair. I'm sorry.
What about parts and services? Well, I did leave something in you.
Right. Called me as a plumber. I'm laying some pipe. It's what I do.
Cleared the clog.
Right. Right. I just ran my snake down. We cleared it right up.
Your shitter works now. Good Lord.
I gotta wash my auger now. That's all there is. Oh shit, we're off the rails, man. Well, here was a nice discussion about women playing football in lingerie, and you had to go and make it dirty.
That's right. It's always me.
Always, every single time. I set them up, and you go the direction I'm leading without knowing. So,
See, you're the mastermind behind it. Jesus Christ.
But no, you should definitely check out the LFLC if they're still there.
I'm totally doing it after we're done this recording. I'll even review it for our Patreon supporters.
Perfect. Lingerie Football League 2020. I think they still exist.
Holy shit. And people say there's no entertainment during the coronavirus right now.
It's now the X League.
Oh, it's the X League now.
The X League. The following is an important message from the Nurses Guild of Florida. We know COVID has many scared, and many of our seniors are even afraid to go to the doctors. Just the thought of being exposed to all the people in the waiting room, in addition to the doctor's staff, is a risk many don't want to take right now. However, putting off health care makes most conditions worse. The Nurses Guild has the solution. One that exposes you to just one person. Call your doctor's office and have them order a nursing assessment from the Nurses Guild. We are a 5-star Medicare home health agency. Your registered nurse in full PPE will perform a full head-to-toe assessment, vital signs and medication review, pulse oximetry, even an EKG if needed. Lab work and x-rays can also be done at home. Our registered nurse will discuss all of this strictly and directly with your doctor and get you results. All of our nurses and home health aides are fully screened, supervised, and COVID tested. Call the Nurses Guild today to arrange your home health visit at 954-596-9806 in Broward County and 561-826-8937 in Palm Beach County. Remember, healthcare put off is healthcare too late. Stay safe during the pandemic. Wear a mask and insist those around you wear a mask. Wash your hands frequently and stay home as much as possible.
What about arena football? Is that still around? I mean, obviously completely off topic.
The new chairman of the Lingerie Football League. Guess who it is?
Who? Tell me it's Donald Trump.
Mike Ditka.
Some jokes write themselves. At least it's not butt kiss.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, I was gonna share with you because it's got a picture of him here with the LFL.
Oh,
I was gonna share, but you have me disabled.
Do I? Hold on.
Yeah,
there it goes. There you go. Now you can do it.
All right, let's.
I never played with the share on Zoom, so I didn't know that. So here you go.
Yeah.
Here it comes. Oh my God, dude, I'm in love.
That's recent, man.
But wait, they're wearing Daisy Dukes. I thought we were like, fucking like some lacy thongs or something.
Well, no, you don't. You can't play football like that. That's just untidy.
Why is there a string hanging out?
Yeah.
Dude, the look on her face. The look on her face tells me I don't want to get hit by that woman.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in your sexual prowess look.
Yeah. You've done upset her. But no, it's
you whipped it out and that face literally says, "Is that it?"
Is that one the one you're talking about right there?
No, I was talking about the blonde, but yeah, she's got that look too. Like,
yeah, that one looks a little meaner. Like you accidentally were a little bit too far to the side.
Well, dude, if you
were on the you went to poo poo point.
Well,
that's what that face says.
Seriously, you look at her face. Go back to her a second. Go back to her a second. She is so disappointed. Her eye is going crooked.
Yep. I'd forgive her that. That's okay.
You've seen that look before.
Yeah, trust me, we all have. All right, we'll get this. How do we unshare?
Well, wait a minute. Somebody's got to have a sense of humor with that, because like in the first pictures that we saw the team of girls running with the uniform on and everything else onto the field, and then right next to it you got Mike Ditka with a fucking cigar in his mouth. Why is it when we're looking at all the pretty girls, the only one that's got a phallic-looking thing in his mouth is Mike Dick?
Right. Well, that team, that's the Washington Lewinsky's, is what.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Tip the tip.
Or the humidors. That's the name.
Humidors. That's a Clinton Foundation team right there.
You say a Clinton?
That's a Clinton Foundation. I always said Bill Clinton should have fucking gone into cigars and come up with his own brand with its own flavor.
Right.
What the hell was her name? Not Monica Lewinsky, was it? No, that was Dick Cutter.
Uh-oh. No, Monica was the intern that Bill whose dress Bill ruined.
Yeah.
There were many others, but that was the most memorable one. So he has to take a phone call in the middle of this. That's okay. That's okay. But no, the LFL is still a thing, and I definitely recommend it. Nope, we'll pause. He paused himself. I'm not talking to myself for any length of time. That's okay.
I'm still listening to you. I just got to go up and order dinner.
Oh, you were ordering dinner while we're.
That's it, but I still had you in the other ear, so.
Okay. So if I yelled loud enough, I could have put in an order too.
Yeah, you go. Yeah, absolutely. Send some fucking cheese fries down your way.
There you go. There you go.
Some Washington cheese sticks.
Yeah, that should be the new name. The Washington cheese sticks. It still beats football team.
It still beats football team. I like seriously, like my first thought, like looking at the uniform. Obviously, we took a roundabout way to get back into the conversation here, but I mean. You take a look at the uniforms, you take a look at how like deadpan the name is, and all I'm thinking of, like, you remember the original Tecmo Bowl video game for where the teams were just fucking, New York and Florida. Right. They had no team names to it, they just color and state. That's kind of what it reminds me of. Like, they should be little 8-bit fucking figures running down the field, because that's all they are.
Yep, you got two moves, either run or pass. That's all you got.
And once you call the hike, that you have no control over it anymore.
Oh yeah. Gotta love that.
Well, I'm gonna challenge our listeners on this one. Why don't you guys go ahead in the comment section down below? Tell us what you think the Washington football team's name should be. The funnier, the better. If we get a list going on one of the further episodes, we will actually read that list on air. Because come on, right now, not to pat myself on the back, I think the Lobbyist is the winner so far.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. That's
so we got to beat the Lobbyists. Yeah, I want somebody to beat the Lobbyists with that. Yeah,
I would definitely like to beat the Lobbyists. Most of them could just use a beating. But
hey, did they get to wear their sponsors on their uniform like a NASCAR fucking driver?
They should. There's nothing else there. It would be like Wonder Bread on one.
On the helmet instead of the numbers, it's fucking Jiffy Lube.
See, that's what they need to do. Everybody was upset that it was make it like the Washington white bread.
Oh God. No, you're making me think of fucking like the Major League Soccer, the American Soccer League, where Philadelphia has a team, which is the what the fuck are they called? I don't watch soccer, so I don't really know off the top of my head. But they're the Union. But their uniforms fuck me up, because the Union logo is this little tiny circle on their shoulder, and then right broadly across the chest is the sponsor of the team, Bimbo Bread. And all it is a big bimbo across the chest.
Bimbo bread.
Yeah, bimbo bread. So you got the Philadelphia Bimbos running down the field.
Nice.
Seems
bimbo
more like
that's you would think that would be like the makers of ho-hos.
And ding dongs. Christ.
There was a team. It was somewhere out west. There was a Native American college that named their football team the Fighting Whites.
Yeah.
It's been a long time ago. I think it's changed since, but there for a while their team name was the Fighting Whites. And I thought that was great.
To me, that's turnabout as fair play. Like,
absolutely. I wanted to get one of their T-shirts, because their T-shirt said something like "Everything's going to be all white." It's like it's so fucked up.
Now I'm going on eBay and finding one.
Yeah, they're probably still out there, but yeah, I thought that was hilarious.
I'll wear it with my hood.
Yeah, you can probably get anyway. I'm not going to get political.
Leave it alone, man. I'm just one of Casper's brothers for Halloween. I got a rock.
I was discussing somebody with a Peanuts cartoons with somebody earlier. There is a version where they redubbed the audio.
Okay.
And it is some messed up shit.
Oh, nice.
It is. If you go to YouTube and you look up the most offensive Charlie Brown, they took all of them and did this, and they are some of the foulest, nastiest things you'd ever hear. and they are fucking hilarious.
You know
There's
what?
a reason they're most offensive because they took the actual shows.
Right.
They just redubbed the sound.
So it's still like the original voice actors and all that too. They just kind of cut and paste. Okay, other people are doing the voicing.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Yeah. They made him very ghetto, and it's fucking hilarious. They made
that automatically proves that Peanuts was redubbed because how could they be ghetto? They only got one black guy in the whole neighborhood, in the whole school. You look at all the school scenes. Franklin's the only black dude in the school. Even I grew up in the suburbs of Philadelphia, and even I saw more than one black guy in my high school.
I grew up in West Milton, Ohio. We had there was one black girl in our high school, and
just one, really?
I'm not kidding. We had a graduating class of like 95 people. She was actually a year younger. She graduated a year after I did.
Okay.
And I felt really because it
was
sounds really
black
bad. I felt terrible for her to have to go through that, especially with the last name of Lips.
Oh, come on. Was there
that's not a joke, man. That's not a joke. This poor girl actually had to go through that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, was there at least black guys in the school so she had somebody to like date or associate with? She was literally like the only black person, male or female, in the school.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I grew up in a very white frickin' town.
Oh, my God.
They still haven't changed much. I'm glad I got the fuck out.
Jesus Christ. Wow. No, I mean, I'm from Northeast Philadelphia, and Northeast Philadelphia when I was a kid was predominantly German and Irish. And I mean, the Russians moved in and some of the Koreans moved in, started diversifying the neighborhood some, but like the high school, like they bust in from the other sections and all that. So we had, Puerto Ricans and blacks and, whatever else in the school. So it's like, I always laughed at these shows like Saved by the Bell, for example, where it takes place in high school and there's not one black person in the fucking school. And I'm like, that doesn't exist. Come on.
It does.
Wow.
Probably still does.
That's crazy.
Yep, that's that little Midwestern farming communities. Yep. Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah. It's
oh no, the wrong thought came into my head and I'm not repeating it.
Probably a good thing.
I'm just thinking no black people in the schools, and it's all farming communities. Oh, they're too busy out in the fields.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's the thought that went into my head, and I'm like, no, I should. But I wound up fucking saying it anyway.
You're going to hell for that one. I'm sorry.
Michigan.
Yes, I can't think of anything worse.
Hell, Michigan.
It's pretty close. Pretty close. That's one for Colin. He lives up around there, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's up in the Upper Peninsula there. So yeah, that's
kind of ruins the catchphrase though of hell freezing over, because I mean, fucking northern Michigan, it freezes over every season.
Oh yeah, it probably is right now.
There's hope for people when you try to ask a girl out on a date and she said when hell freezes over, just send her the temperature of hell, Michigan.
Exactly. And then she'll block you on social media. She hadn't already.
Oh, good Lord. Well, I think that one's going to do it for us, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks for listening to the last episode.
There will never be a daily show again. No. And, of course, we're proudly sponsored by the Nurses Guild until they hear this episode.
Right.
Hey, maybe we can get in on it. Maybe we can get the Washington team to sponsor us, and they'll be the Washington Daily Show. No, I don't think that's fucking Trevor Noah.
Yeah, we don't want anybody thinking of him.
They'll think it's Trevor Noah or Jon Stewart or something. Yeah, that won't work.
Jon Stewart's all right. But yeah, that Trevor Noah,
but then he'll get our money.
That's true. We don't want that. He's got enough.
That's it. We'll catch you on the next Daily Show, guys. Have a good one.